Like we have parents who say that their kids come home and they will say like, oh, my friend called me black or my friend called me shit, and these are just like 6 years old, 7 years old. Hi, I'm Diana, I'm 29. I'm a volunteer at HashPeace. It's a movement to promote multiculturalism and diversity in Singapore. For HashPeace, it started off initially with some closed-door events. So there's like a focus group discussions where we just bring a small group of people and then we just kind of talk about certain observations we've made like in life. So for example, like we have parents who say that their kids come home and they will say like, oh, my friend called me black or my friend called me shit, and these are just like 6 years old, 7 years old. I guess the first thing that you will kind of try to blame is it the parent? Did the parent teach them this? But then it's also like kind of like an unfair accusation. It might not be the parent, it might just be, I don't know, maybe human instinct to describe something that is different from you. The first half, it will just be casual exercises, like acting exercises, to kind of put people in a different frame of mind, such that they forget that it's related to a social angle. So after that, we give them scenes. That's when they start acting with their own instinct, and at the end of that is when we start saying, hey, we make observations of comments that people have made, or things that they have acted, or even like expressions, like the way they stand, just their body language, and then we kind of point it out to them. For example, we realize the Chinese will naturally behave as, like, for example, the boss. Yeah, and then the Malays will naturally behave like the labours. When we say, okay, there's mixed races, naturally they will tend to set a more tense scene. Like they will start fighting with each other. Or the minority will become, like, for example, the criminal in the scene. And no one asked them to do it, they just decided to go towards that role themselves. You have your own stereotype of your own race and you play that role, even if it's not positive. When you have like panel discussions or when you have such more formal events, we realize that sometimes it can be the same group of people who are already interested, and a lot of them could be activists. Yeah, hopefully with Improv, we attract a slightly different group of people so that we can reach, you know, a bigger, like the mass. We also don't want to be too sensitive, because sometimes it's just about understanding. When you understand why someone says something, there might not be an action that you can really take, but an understanding such that you know that it doesn't come from a bad place. They don't mean any ill intention, they don't mean any racist comments. I think it's also a bit dangerous if we are too politically right and everything becomes like, you know, you always have to be on your toes, you know, you're so afraid of saying something wrong. When we talk about identity, as a Singaporean, it's always blur because we are so metropolitan, but at the same time, we cannot really separate ourselves from our race. Like, we want to say that we don't care about races, we are all the same, we are all Singaporeans, which is great and it's true, but at the same time, we cannot really go to that stage without understanding the differences. So only when you understand the differences and you are more aware and you're conscious and you're not afraid of having these kind of discussions, then you can move to the next stage of like really being like, yeah, this is what we are, because there's no barrier, there's no tension. So it's kind of like, I feel this is a step towards that.